Hi, my name is Justin Winters. I'm a chemistry teacher at Phoenixville Area High School, and depending on your schedule this coming school year, there's a good chance you might have me as one of your teachers. That would be cool. All of us at PHS are so excited to have you join us in just a few short months. My fellow teachers and I have heard nothing but really great things about the class of 2024, and I know I speak for everyone when I say that we can't wait to meet you in person. So you're about to become a freshman. How exciting. Believe me when I tell you, you have so much to look forward to. It's a chance for you to become much more independent, try new classes, join new clubs, and meet lots of new people across many different grades. But as exciting as all this is, what's also probably true is that you might be a little worried and have lots of questions about what high school will be like. I think that's all definitely to be expected. If this were a normal school year, under normal circumstances, you and your classmates would come over to the high school at the end of the school year, have a look around, meet some teachers, and have a chance to have all of your questions answered. Obviously, we can't do it quite like that this year. So the goal today is to provide answers to some of the most commonly asked questions incoming ninth graders have as they make their transition to the high school. But rather than me answering those questions, some of our upperclassmen students are going to be taking the time to give their unique perspective. Believe me when I tell you, they're a group that's definitely worth listening to. Let's meet them now.
Hi, my name is Madison O'Neill, and I'm a part of Science Club, and I run cross country and track.
Hi, my name is Julian Champagne-Lee. I am the president of the class of 2021, and I'm a proud member of the Activism Club.
Hi, my name is Colin Murphy. I am captain of the cross country team and president of Science Club.
Hi, I'm Corinne. I'm in Yearbook Club and I play soccer.
Hi, my name is Phoebe Forrester. I play soccer and I'm in Science Club.
My name is Doug Villegas Rivas. I run cross country and track for the high school.
Hi, I'm Heather Serino. I'm president of Phoenixville Platform for Service and I play field hockey.
Hi, I'm Andrew Caranti. I play lacrosse and I'm an officer for the debate team.
The major differences between middle school and high school are one, that you get to choose your classes rather than like everyone take the same classes. There's also different levels of the class that you can choose from. And also you don't have lunch with your grade. You have lunch with a mix of 9th through 12th graders.
Another major difference is classes are more challenging, but in a good way. And also you hang out with your friends more and a lot more free time.
In high school, there's a lot more freedom. For example, you can play a sport in your freshman year instead of waiting your second year like in middle school. And it's also a community, and you will have classes with people of all grades. Maybe not as much your freshman year, but definitely as you get older.
So in middle school, people are a lot less mature in middle school, so a lot more childish acting's going on. As well as in middle school, you don't have to be as in tune with what you're doing in your classes, what you're doing with your grades. It'll just kind of happen. They'll kind of be set up for you. In high school, it's a much more mature audience. You kind of have to be more in tune with what classes you're going into, because you have to be on top of your grades and you kind of have to pick the classes yourself.
Okay, so coming to the high school, I know that I was worried that everyone was going to hate me as a freshman, but don't worry about it. I can tell you, after almost 4 years of being in the high school, we don't hate on freshmen, and we're excited you're with us.
No, this is just more of a myth, and I definitely experienced this going into freshman year, but we all know what position you're in because we were once freshmen in high school, and we'll treat you the same as every class. And in addition, you're going to have sports and a lot of classes with different grades, so you're going to get to know them and eventually become friends with them, especially as you get older.
Absolutely not. I don't think it's as much of a freshman ideal that people hate. I think it's just the way certain freshmen carry themselves. So I think an important thing for you to do is to make sure that when you're walking around the halls and when you're in class and when you're around upperclassmen, not to be scared of them, but just to act in a mature manner, be yourself, make sure you feel comfortable around them, and find somebody that you can become friends with and that you can become close with.
Yeah, I think there's this sort of common idea that all upperclassmen sort of hate freshmen automatically. But I think if you're an open-minded and nice person, people are going to like you. It's just human nature. As a freshman myself, there were a lot of juniors and seniors that played a really big role in my life and were great role models for me. So I think just keep an open mind and try to be nice.
They're not way harder. They're like you do have to study more, be more in tune with what's going on in class, as well as it is a little bit more work. But the teachers aren't going to help you like they did in middle school. In middle school, they might have held your hand through it, but in high school, you kind of have to be responsible for yourself.
It depends. I'm kind of a proponent of the philosophy that you get out of high school classes what you put into them. Sort of if you challenge yourself and invest in your classes, it's going to be a lot more enjoyable and fulfilling than if you just put in like the minimum level of effort. I also don't think that the workload is unreasonable and your tests, like your teachers are going to prepare you for your tests. So the moral of the story is if you do your best and you take your classes seriously, it's going to pay off.
I agree with Colin, and it definitely depends on what type of classes you take. If you're taking AP and honors courses, then you can expect them to be a little more challenging because they are faster paced classes to get ready for the AP exam. If you're taking CP courses, they might be a little slower moving, but I definitely think that the middle school has prepared everyone well.
So just as Heather and Colin said, if you work hard and put in a lot of effort, your classes will come easier to you than if you get behind on schoolwork and don't pay attention in class. So work hard and your classes won't be too bad.
So I would say you're definitely going to expect homework every night compared to middle school. Maybe you didn't have as much. You might have homework on the weekends, and I would say the amount that you get varies on your efficiency and the classes that you're taking. AP classes, and especially science classes, may give you more homework. Honors classes a little less, and CP classes maybe a little less. It depends on the subject too. English classes may gravitate more towards projects, some classes more towards tests, but all in all, it's just how much work you decide to put into it and how much you decide to study is what is going to give you the outcome of how long it takes you.
It varies for sure. I agree with Phoebe on that. Depending on if you're taking AP classes, if you're taking honors classes, or if you're taking the lowest level classes, I would say I have more experience with honors and AP, and it varies night to night, depending on what you're getting assigned and how that falls. But I would say the biggest change from middle school was to definitely expect homework on the weekends. Not necessarily a ton, but you'll definitely have homework on the weekends, which was somewhat rare in middle school that I found.
You shouldn't expect too much homework because it's like 2 hours of work here, and a lot of a good half of it is either doing problems from a book or you're just reading from a book and writing some notes down. It's a good bit of note taking, but my schedule is I just go to school, go to practice. After practice, I get my work done, eat, take a shower, and then I'm free to do whatever for the rest of the night.
I would definitely expect at least 2 hours of homework going into the 9th grade, but for some people, they like to challenge themselves more than others. So it could be anywhere from maybe 2 to 5, but I would definitely focus on balancing your homework and making sure that you prioritize well.
So you should definitely expect some more homework than you got in middle school. There are different waves of when you'll get homework, so it might pick up around a break or a week that we have off of school, and it might pick up around midterms week and finals week, but you'll definitely develop a system and you'll get used to it. And there are also plenty of opportunities to get your homework done throughout the school day, like study halls and lunch periods.
So So there is no like best club or activity to get involved in, but there are so many clubs and activities that you can get involved in. Like we have clubs that range from cooking to the different languages, to science, to physics, to business, to community service and international relations. And they're all super fun. And if you have like an interest in any of these like topics, I would definitely get involved in a club because it's a way to meet people and like really put yourself out there. And it's like a huge part of Phoenixville. Same thing with the activities. We have all sorts of sports, and we have theater and color guard and marching band, which are all like super popular at the high school, and like they're so much fun. And my biggest advice would be to get involved in these things because that's how you meet people, and that's like a huge part of our school culture. And it's where like you do a lot of things, and it makes high school like really, really fun.
I can really only speak from experience about the activities that I personally participate in, but I would highly recommend getting involved in a sport. Cross country is a great place to start, although I am heavily biased towards it. If you're the kind of person who likes science and math, as I do, I would also suggest science club. We take field trips, we do competitions, and we help out with the elementary school science fair. It's a lot of fun. If you're politically inclined, Model UN is a lot of fun as well. It's a great way to get a look into what life as a politician is like, and you also get to stay at a lot of some of the best college campuses in the country, so it's great. The most important thing, however, sort of as Madison said, there's a place in Phoenixville for everybody. So just find what makes you happy and dive in with both feet, and you're gonna have a great time.
So as Mo said, there isn't really a best club. I think getting involved with what you enjoy and getting involved from like your freshman year, because you can join as many clubs as you want, get involved a lot, and you'll meet a lot of new people. And then by the time you're a senior, you'll be in clubs that you truly enjoy. Who knows, you could be like a 4-year member, and you could be like the president of the club. My advice is just getting involved early and getting involved with things you like, or maybe something that's outside of your box, and who knows, you might fall in love with it.
The best clubs and activities I would definitely say are, well, more importantly, the ones that you feel are best catered towards your wants and desires. But I think that the ones that best represent the Phoenixville community are, of course, NHS, definitely Class Council, Activism Club, Phantom Ambassadors. These are clubs that are more catered towards service and informing people. And I would definitely say that these are the ones where you'll find the people that you love most at the high school.
The teachers are more than happy to spend their free time helping you with extra stuff, extra lessons, going over a test or a quiz. You have study hall and lunch and other free time to meet with them, and they are more than happy to meet with you. That's what they're there for, and they love establishing those relationships with you. So utilize them. They're super helpful one-on-one.
I just want to start by saying Phoenixville is always willing to be there and help you. Specifically, if you're talking about homework help, long-term wise, we have a tutoring system through the library and NHS where we can offer personalized tutoring or just things like study tips and things like that.
Well, I believe that there are numerous different ways that you can get help within the high school. I definitely know that it's important to find a teacher that you can establish a close relationship with. I feel that all of the teachers at the high school love the students, and that you can come to them with anything, whether you need academic help or whether it's an emotional struggle. If it is an emotional struggle, I would definitely say go to a guidance counselor. I know that we do have a school therapist, and I definitely feel that she's undervalued. So I would definitely emphasize going to a therapist for emotional help, or if you need academic help, definitely teachers. But either way, both are great resources.
If you're struggling with mental health issues or personal issues, guidance counselors are always readily available to talk to. If you're struggling with a scheduling issue or an academic issue, the guidance counselors are also there to help. And as you get older and you're thinking about colleges or what you want to do as a career, Miss Bala is the college and careers counselor.
Well, if it's something that's like going on with your head, going on with friends, or just something not going the right way in life, you can go to the school counselor. We have good school counselors, and they really do care and like listen out for you. And even if you're too nervous to set up a meeting with them.
So to introduce them, the principal is Dr. Parkinson and the two assistant principals are Dr. Scioli and Mrs. Reuter. And they are very nice, in my opinion. They are super approachable and definitely not something to be intimidated by as a freshman.
So all of them are very nice and welcoming and willing to always talk to you if you have an issue. We also have one of them assigned to each of our lunches, and they'll be walking around and there to talk to you. So you get to have a one-on-one conversation with them during your lunch if you choose to. Overall, they're just super nice.
I think it's really easy to think of the principals as like big and scary, and I obviously like do recommend that you stay on their good side, keep out of trouble, follow the rules and the law, etc. But it's super important to remember that like all district staff, principals are there for you. They're there to help you. They're very approachable and they're very nice people. And many of them have been at Phoenixville for like a really long time. They can be great allies and sort of advocates for you. And as cheesy as this may sound, they will build like a personal relationship with you as your career here moves on. So don't be afraid to reach out to them if you have any trouble, and they'll be more than willing to help you.
I would say that both of the principals are definitely caring. When you're entering the building and when you're leaving the building, you definitely see them there. You definitely see them active with the student body. So I would say that they are definitely concerned about students academically and emotionally. And I would definitely say that they're also present at different events. So it's great that you can definitely see them at these different things that happen within the school community.
My favorite part about being in high school is all the things you can get involved with, including clubs where you can meet a lot of new people, or just school-wide activities where you can be with all the different grades, like at football games, basketball games, or even just homecoming and prom. Something to add that I participated in my sophomore year was a Spanish exchange trip where we went to Spain, and that was just one of the really cool things I could do and meet another group of people that I usually don't talk to and make some great friends.
I think my favorite part about being in high school was the relationships that I built over the past 3 years, especially with the people that I'm, speaking with right now. We've become great friends, and just the people that I'm in classes with and my teachers and whatnot, it's all great. And also last year I had the opportunity to go on an exchange to Denmark, and I met some really great people there and developed lifelong friendships, and that was like a great opportunity that I had.
So my favorite part is when the cafeteria has chocolate chip cookies instead of the M&M ones. I also love the library. The library is a great place, unlike middle school. I love to go there to get work done and work on the computers and kind of have like a quiet environment. It's a really great place to go. I also love all the people that I've gotten to meet, like outside of my circle of friends. The high school just seems like a big community where we all know each other really well, and we're all like really close with each other, like even between the different grades, and I just really love that about the high school.
Personally, there are like so many great memories and experiences that I've had that it's really hard to pick just one. But I think my favorite part of high school has been finding what I'm passionate about and really getting deeply involved with it. Going into high school, I was super shy and nervous about the whole process. I wasn't athletic at all, and I was really uncertain about what subjects sort of interested me the most. However, thanks to like a few great friends and teachers, I discovered a passion for running and physics, and I managed to find a lot of success and happiness focusing on just those things. I think it also goes to show that high school is anybody's game, and it's one of the best times in life to try new things and get out of your comfort zone and really look for what makes you happy.
My favorite part about being in the high school is just getting to choose what classes we get to take. So you take classes that actually interest you. I know your freshman year, you don't get to really choose that many of.
My favorite part about being in the high school is the ability for me to challenge myself. I feel that there are so many different courses that are offered that it's overwhelming. I don't know what to choose from. I don't know. I feel sometimes that I could be making a mistake with the courses that I'm choosing because there's such a wide variety of options available. So I would definitely say that all of the courses that are available are challenging, and I go to school every day and I'm ready to be challenged, and I'm ready to stimulate my mind in ways that I can't do just sitting at home.
Your classes, but by your senior year, you're almost choosing your whole schedule based on classes you're interested in.
My favorite part about being in the high school is also the freedom to choose classes that interest you and your future. I also love the real world experiences that the high school has to offer, like working in the Phantom Station, which sells school spirit and clothes, and working in the Purple Perk, which sells coffee to all of my coffee lovers.
Okay. Like many people going into high school, I was initially like super skeptical about the food, but I've completely come around on it. Sort of similarly to middle school, food in the cafeteria is served from like different stands, some of which vary day to day and some of which are like consistent across decades. I highly recommend sampling a Jerry sandwich, which is at the Great American Sandwich Company. At some point in your time here, I can vouch that they're as delicious as they are iconic. And I'm pretty sure it's a graduation requirement that you dabble in them at some point. Also, check out the World Market. Shout out Chef Scott, which serves hot food every day. It's a great opportunity to introduce some variety into your routine. So trust me, it's very underrated.
So on a typical lunch period for me, when I decide to treat myself to a Jerry sandwich, which Colin referenced, is basically just a sandwich with lunch meat and other toppings that you can get pressed, kind of like a panini, and the woman who makes it is named Jerry. So typically I get buffalo chicken, lettuce, a little bit of special sauce, and then also their tater tots are really good. Sometimes they have fries. I prefer the tater tots, and they also have M&M and chocolate cookies. I prefer the M&M cookies. I know Mo referenced the chocolate cookies earlier, but overall, I think it was kind of an improvement from middle school lunch, and you can even access it if you don't have a lunch and you have a study hall, or some teachers let you leave your class to go and get lunch. You can order it ahead of time, so it's really accessible, and I would make sure to go when the line is not super long. That can happen, but not as long as the lines were in middle school. So
honestly, like on a basic day, I would just go grab a sandwich. Like it's real nice. Like you can pick what you want on it. They've got like plenty of options in terms of just like cheeses, meats, and then like you can put whatever amount of whatever toppings. Doesn't cost you extra. You can get it nice and toasted up, and then they have like the main thing that's happening for the day. Like this the daily thing that changes, and sometimes we have that one lunch person who's like cooking it up right there, and it's like the best thing.
So we have all the staples that you're used to from middle school, but we have fresh made sandwiches, which are Jerry sandwiches, which I highly recommend and which is what I usually get. We also have nachos, which are pretty good. And then it varies month to month, but on occasion we have Italian ice and different things like that come in and serve us like special things. And then also in the spring and in the fall, we're allowed to eat outside, which is super nice. I remember freshman year, I took advantage of that a lot in the spring, when classes are winding down, and it's just nice to enjoy lunch outside, and it's a lot of fun when the weather's nice.
I know it can be intimidating or scary coming to a new school, especially high school, but from experience, don't worry about it. It's all going to work out. If you ever get lost, just feel free to ask any teacher or any student to point you in the right direction. And for the first week or so, teachers are forgiving about you being late to class, so don't put too much stress on yourself.
Full disclosure, the high school can initially be pretty confusing. There's different hallways which have different colors and names associated to them. Sometimes you'll hear wings referred to by their color, sometimes by a new naming scheme that the school introduced this last year. Like, for example, the F wing is known as Yellow Springs, and the cafeteria is known as the Farmers Market, et cetera, et cetera. Generally, rooms are labeled with their wing letter and number in the wing. However, as foreign as it may initially seem, I'll be willing to wager that by the end of a week or two, you'll know it like the back of your hand and it'll feel like home. The best piece of advice I can give you on this is to try to build a mental map of the school as soon as you can. While knowing the room number can bail you out if you're in a pinch, getting a lay of the land and knowing where rooms are relative to each other will be invaluable to you going forward.
So at first, the high school is definitely very intimidating because we use like a lettering system instead of like numbers. I mean, it's combined, but it's mainly by letters. And honestly, I still get confused. Like, I'm a junior, and just a couple months ago, I couldn't find a classroom like in the middle of the year. So I just asked the guidance counselor, and she told me where to go. So there's always someone there to like tell you where to go, and like don't be embarrassed about it. And also, like, if you're late to a class, don't stress about that either. Like, sometimes people write you a pass, or like teachers are very forgiving. They understand because high school is definitely very confusing.
So I remember at my very own freshman orientation, one of the students talking mentioned how you don't realize how fast high school is going to go, and I'm just going to repeat that advice because it's completely true. I would tell my past self to just take advantage of all the different clubs and the community feeling at Phoenixville and what they offer. Get ready to make new friends and get ready to take a lot of different classes and just kind of put yourself out there. For me, I decided to take more of like a science path with my classes, as you can kind of choose them as you get older. And from this, I made a ton of new friends that I never even talked to in middle school. And it was just great to make so many new friends and just experience a lot of things, which kind of helped me to shape who I am and what I like to do.
So my advice would be to do what makes you feel comfortable and what makes you feel loved. I would say push yourself, but not beyond your limit. Know your limitations and know what makes you comfortable so that you can kind of ease your way into freshman year. And then when you're in 10th grade and when you're in your junior year, you can start to push yourself a little more so that you can have an easier senior year.
In addition to what Phoebe said, one thing I wish I knew is that the high school has something to offer for everybody, whether you are a quiet person, a loud person, people of all personalities and interests, like clubs, sports, courses, and you'll find what interests you, and the high school is full of opportunities. With that said, these 4 years fly, so make sure you cherish the best moments.
Get involved with the school. Really, like plant yourself in there and get involved, because getting involved helps you through those tough times in life when life's just like really taking something out of you, really taking a beating out of you. Like when you're involved in the school, you're motivated to keep going, keep working, get yourself like all nice and set. Me personally, I joined the track team, cross country team, and like wanting to keep my grades up just to be able to like be on the team, be with the team, compete with the team, fight with the team. Like that's what got me through.
From middle school to high school, I saw a huge friend group change. A lot of close friends moved away after middle school, and so I felt like a new student almost. Even though I knew a lot of people, I wasn't great friends with the people that I had known. And so just being open to new friendships is a huge thing, because the people that I'm friends with now, I would have never expected to be friends with. But I have a great relationship with them now, and also meet people that you're in classes with, because those can be the best friends that you make, because it's helpful to have someone to do work with, and you're going to be with them a lot, especially if they're taking challenging courses. You'll see them throughout high school, and it's great to establish new friendships like that, even though it can be daunting and scary.
So my advice would be to do really well in school, because freshman year matters just as much as sophomore year, junior year, and senior year. And I know there's like a rumor that like junior year is the most important, but like they all matter. So you want to build like your study habits and your good work habits now that you can use for like your next 4 years, because the workload is definitely different from middle school, and you want to like try really hard and do really well for yourself, because it's really going to help you throughout your entire high school career.
So my advice would just be accept change and realize that your friend groups might change. You're going to get involved in new things. You're going to find new passions for either classes you love or maybe a club that you absolutely never even knew of, and then you get involved and you love it. Just accept change and cherish your 4 years that you have, because they go really fast.
This is going to sound super cliche, and it is, but I'm going to say it anyway. For the first few months of high school, the best thing you can do, in my opinion, is to say yes to as many things as you can, provided that obviously what you're saying yes to is like legal and doesn't hurt anybody. I think it would be foolish of me to say that you're going to be counting down the seconds for your alarm to go off every morning. But let me just say that high school, it isn't perfect, but it is your first chance to make your own choices. And the sooner that you get involved, the more fulfilling your experience is going to be. There are so many of us here at the high school that are waiting for you guys to become an important part of our community, and we really are so excited to have you. 2024, make it count.
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 Make it count.